What if the reason you still cannot move on isn't because you still love her, but because you keep volunteering to revisit the place where your heart was broken? Most divorced Muslim men think emotional attachment ends when the marriage ends. It doesn't. It ends when you stop feeding it. By the end of this video, you will understand why your mind, not your ex-wife, is keeping the attachment alive, and you will live with one simple lesson that can finally help you reclaim your peace without waiting for her to change. If we have never met before, I'm someone who walked through divorce, heartbreak, shared parenting, and the slow rebuilding of a life that once felt like it had collapsed. I'm not speaking as some expert reading from a textbook. I'm speaking as a man who had to learn how to stop bleeding emotionally while still showing up as a father, husband, and a servant of Allah. Because if I could rebuild from that place, so can you. Here's something I wish someone had told me much earlier. I used to think healing meant staying busy. So I prayed 5 times a day, I trained in the gym, I work, I read books, I tried becoming a better man. From the outside, it looked like I had moved on. But every night, when the house became quiet, my mind reopened the same file. What is she thinking now? Does she regret what happened? What story is she telling people? Will everyone eventually know the truth? Then the arguments started. Not with her, with the imaginary version of her inside my own head. I defended myself, explained myself, won debates that never happened. I lost sleep over conversation that never existed. And every morning, I wondered why I still feel emotionally attached. One day, something hit me so hard that I couldn't ignore it anymore. I wasn't attached because she kept pulling me back. I was attached because I kept walking back. Every replay, imaginary argument, every visit to old memories, every time I wondered about her new life, every mental explanation was another payment, keeping the emotional bond alive. That's when I realized something uncomfortable. Emotional attachment doesn't survive because of love. It survives because of attention. Listen again. Not love. Attention. Your heart follows whatever your mind keeps visiting. Think about it. If every evening you mentally reopen the divorce, you are telling your nervous system that this is still important. If every week you check how she's doing, you are telling your brain she is still relevant. If you keep imagining the day she'll regret losing you, you are still allowing your future to depend on her. That's not healing. That's emotional rent. You are allowing someone who no longer shares your home to still occupy your mind. And the longer you do that, the less present you become for the people Allah has already placed in front of you. I learned this the hardest way through fatherhood. Children don't need to hear you talking about your ex to know you are emotionally stuck. Hey, they feel it. They notice your patience disappears for no reason. They notice your mood changes. They notice when your eyes are physically with them, but your mind is somewhere else. Your child doesn't need proof that her mother was wrong. He or she needs proof that her father is emotionally safe. Steady, calm, predictable, present. That's a father who gives a child security. Then another uncomfortable truth confronted me. It wasn't only affecting my kids, it was affecting my wife. Imagine marrying a woman who gives you her trust, her loyalty, her peace, but part of your emotional energy is still orbiting someone from your past. Even if you never contact your ex, you never speak about her. If your mind keeps returning there, you're only half present. That's not justice. Your wife deserves today's version of you. Not a man whose emotional attention is still rented out by yesterday. That forced me to create one simple rule. Whenever my mind wanted to revisit the divorce, I asked one question. Does this help my daughter? If the answer was no, I stopped. Does this help my marriage? No. Then stop. Does this help my relationship with Allah? No. Then stop. Because I realized something profound. Not every thought deserves a conversation. Some thoughts deserve starvation. So whenever those old thoughts appeared, I stopped debating them. Instead, I quietly said, this is attachment, this is not the truth. Then I took one immediate action. Sometimes I pray, I train, sometimes I planned my next video. Sometimes I recite Quran, I walk outside. The action itself wasn't the miracle, the interruption was, because every time you refuse to feed a thought, you weaken its grip, little by little. Your nervous system learns we don't live there anymore. And one day, without even noticing, you'll realize something beautiful. You haven't thought about her all day, not because you forced yourself, because she is no longer emotionally relevant. That is freedom. If you remember only one thing from today's video, let it be this. Your heart cannot detach from what your mind keeps visiting. The goal is not to win the mental courtroom. The goal is to live it. Allah already knows the truth. Your character will speak louder than your explanations ever could. Your kids doesn't need you to prove your ex-wife wrong. Your wife doesn't need half of your presence. And you don't need another night spent arguing with ghosts. You need peace. And peace begins when you stop voluntarily returning to the emotional scene of the crime. If this message spoke to where you are today, download the Muslim Man Rebuilt Playbook using the link in the description below. It's the exact framework I wish someone had handed me after divorce. It's a practical guide to rebuilding your discipline, emotional control, faith, fatherhood, purpose, and self-respect. And if you're ready for personalized guidance, apply for a private strategy call with me. We'll look at where you are, what's keeping you stuck, and build a clear roadmap to help you move forward with structure instead of confusion. And if this video helped you, subscribe if you are committed to rebuilding as a Muslim man after divorce. And I'd like to hear from you. Leave a comment below. What is one thought about your past that you're choosing to stop feeding today?